And hello, everyone. Welcome to this segment of the Omega Files. I'm your host, Dr. Freedom, and we're here to discuss things going on with Doctor Who as well as the big subject, tonight's episode, Hyde. With me is Debra. Say hello.
Hello.
And, of course, MrWhatsrossable.
Hey guys.
And, I don't know. It was a pretty interesting episode. I'm leaning towards a 7.5 or 8 out of 10. I was really enjoyed the feel of it. It almost had kind of like an Image of the Fen doll vibe to it. Also, with maybe a little bit of that haunted house scare. What'd you think of it, Deborah?
I liked it. I wanted to actually be scared a little bit more. I was really expected a good fright, but I really liked it. It was good. Lots of references to lots of different things also.
Okay, Ross, well, what's your first impressions?
I loved it. I think it's probably the best episode we've had this series so far. I think this episode would scare children quite a bit more than it does with the adults, because I think it really was out there, and I've just really enjoyed it all the way through.
Yeah, it did seem to be aimed towards a younger crowd a bit more, but at the same time, it had a damn good storyline. Plus, we had DeRay Scott in there, and he's a very, very popular actor. He was in movies like Mission Impossible 2, Ever After, and it's weird the big names that are being drawn towards Doctor Who these days. Also, in this episode, we find out that it seems Clara is having a bit of difficulty in her relationship with the TARDIS. Seems like the TARDIS maybe don't like her. What is your impression of that, Deb?
I think maybe she's a little jealous. Maybe there's some of Rose in there. I'm not sure because, they switched, or whatever she did, with the TARDIS. Can't remember what it's called. What's it called?
All right. What was that about?
I think there's a little bit of Rose in there. When the TARDIS went into Rose, I think some of Rose went into the TARDIS.
The Matrix thing, is it?
Yeah, when she had to open the TARDIS up, to rescue the Doctor and bring the TARDIS back.
Oh, okay. The heart of the TARDIS. Yeah, I see where you're getting at.
I think she might have a little bit of that in there, and maybe she's a little jealous of Claire. I'm not sure.
Huh? Yeah, it could very well be. What do you think, Ross?
I think the TARDIS doesn't like her because she's confused about her. I think the TARDIS knows that there's more than one Clara and he doesn't like it. But I really like the storyline about having a companion that the TARDIS doesn't like. It really works.
Yeah, it seems to be pretty interesting, the way this is working out, because this is the first time, in a long, I don't think we've ever actually seen a companion the TARDIS really didn't like. So, it's kind of a first for all of us here that, she's having such trouble with her and whatnot. Oh, but also what I liked about this episode, we had Jessica Raine in it. Jessica Raine is going to be starring in the docudrama as Verity Lambert, and she was one of the big founders of the show. But, also, I like the Scooby-Doo moment that we had in there. The bit with the holding your hands. I'm not holding your hand. That really had me laughing. What about you, Deb?
Yeah, I like that. That was really funny. I laughed a lot more in this episode than the past few episodes they've had. I really liked it.
Ross?
Yeah, I really enjoyed some of the scenes in this episode. Some of them made me laugh. I like the scene in the forest. I thought that was really good. I just really enjoyed so many things to like about this episode. It made a difference because I was watching Cold War again before this episode, and I thought Cold War felt quite weak watching it again, but I really liked this episode. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it did seem to have a bit more story-wise for everybody to enjoy. Plus, you had the thrill of a haunted house, and you had the laughs, all the little, offhand references, especially, to the machine or whatnot that's connected to the Eye of Harmony. And also, the crystals from Metebolus 3, which the old school fans will know as Metebolus 3, which was being referenced from early Third Doctor era, which was Planet of the Spiders, and he also visited that planet in the Green Death. But yeah, but of course I just learned that Deborah's approaching this show from new viewer perspective, so yeah, she doesn't know as much about the old part of the show as we do. But let me start with Deb with this one. What really stood out in this episode also that really appealed to you? You know, is there anything I've missed so far? Was there something else about the story you liked?
Kind of like the way she told Clara not to trust the doctor. There's a sliver of ice in his heart. That kind of got me going, what's, I liked the part where they're trying to drink that whiskey, and she said it's the 11th most disgusting thing. That was kind of neat, too.
Ross?
Some of the highlights for me, like I said, the forest scene, really enjoyed that. Where he's getting chased through the vortex into the pocket universe. And I really like the chemistry between the two other actors, the female and the guy, the ghost hunters. I thought they were great together, especially the opening scene where the doctor gets introduced. I thought it was brilliant.
Okay, it looks like I think Morris just joined us. Are you with us? Hang on, he's having some trouble with his mic. He'll sort it out in a minute. But one of the things also, we saw in this episode is we go through all this. It seems to be a joyride, but then it turns out, once again, the doctor just came here to meet with that particular person because he's still distrustful of Clara and what she could possibly represent. Any thoughts on that, Deb?
Yeah, how, is it because she was psychic or something? Why did he choose her?
Very interesting question. Yeah, out of so many people across the universe, he could have picked anybody, and then he chose this person. Could have, be because of her historical significance, or maybe the fact she's historically insignificant. What do you think, Ross?
I think it might be because she's historically significant, and also because it would make more sense if Clara visited her and trusted her and got along with her than it would if it was a different, like an alien species. Clara might find it a bit difficult and ask a bit more questions. But yeah, I really like the aspect of the doctor going just to ask her that.
Yeah. Oh, man, it's just frightening, all the things, like, one thing I noticed in this episode is, they fulfilled the one teaser. The doctor, they told us that somebody would be riding the TARDIS Captain Jack style. I thought that was pretty amusing with the doctor having to, hang on.
Hello there, Dr. Freedom.
Ah, Morris joins us. Oh, I know you were going to pop.
How's it going?
Oh, pretty good so far. We've already started. I figured you'd pop in when you want to pop in.
Yeah, sorry. I thought it was going to be 9 o'clock, but never mind. Don't worry.
That's all right. So Morris, you've watched Tide. What are your impressions of it?
Well, first of all, I love the beginning of it. And I love the setting of the 1974. Kind of reminded me of the Talons in a Wing Cheyenne, the Gothic Victorian sort of setting, in the 70s sort of setting way. And I love the actor that was is it the professor that he played? What's his name?
DeRay Scott played him.
Yeah, great, fantastic. I thought he was great, and the young lady with him. And I love the Gothic ghost type story with it. And also I like the scariness of it, and the script is all right. It was good. Good script.
And knowing you, I know you probably picked out, about the crystals from Metabolus 3, right?
Metabolus 3. From what? Metabolus 3?
Yeah, they were pronouncing it Metabolus.
Yeah, well, it's Metabilis. It's from Planet of the Spiders, wasn't it?
Oh yes.
So, you know, so so that's what it is, and I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the little, is it alien thing in the woods and that. I thought it was great. It, you know, even give me a little bit of a chill.
And that's one thing I also loved about this story was not only was it a haunted house, not only was it we have this time traveler from the future who's seemingly caught, and we have to go back and forth through time to find out who it is, but it also turned out to be a love story in the end, in a way. So
yeah. So but it sort of worked. It sort of worked, that love story, but that's about it. Because usually I hate the love stories and that, because they dwell on it too much. But it worked on this one, which is surprising. I enjoyed it. But the only thing that I didn't enjoy was the end. Really, I mean, what was that alien monster bit? Was it a Cupid sort of thing?
that's what I was about to ask everybody here on the panel. You beat me to the punch on that one. So
What again?
yeah.
Sorry about that, Brian.
That's all right. So I'm going to start off with Debra here. So we wound up with a love story in the end. What do you think those two creatures really were, and how did you think, about almost the romantic side of this episode, Deb?
I still am not sure who they were. I've watched it twice. I'm going to have to watch it again and pay close attention to the monsters. But I really liked where he said everything ends, but not love, not always. And then the part where every lonely monster needs a companion. That definitely reminds me of the Doctor, and that he's lonely. But also he probably does kind of hate himself like the Dream Lord. And so he feels himself a monster probably at times. And he knows he does need someone, but he doesn't go out and say, I need someone. He just says, every lonely monster needs someone.
Okay, Ross?
Yeah, I agree with the ending. I thought it was a weaker ending, with it being a love story. I would have liked it being a creature that was feared.
Yeah.
Like probably a big enemy coming up, and probably like a labyrinth between that. So I thought we were building up like we're supposed to be fearing it, and then it turns out they're only doing it for love.
Yeah.
I thought, hold me out of it a bit more. I thought,
because I tell you what,
the flaw for the episode.
That monster really worked, man, because it really killed me out.
I thought it was really creepy. I thought,
yeah.
It was like one of the zombies from Walking Dead. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, well, yeah. I've never seen Walking Dead, but what was that film? What was that film where oh god, that the bloke who was the bad guy in Terminator 2 was in it, where he gets abducted by aliens. Taken, remember Taken?
Oh, I hate Taken.
No, but you remember the alien on it? It reminded me of one of those, the creepy, 1 minute he's there, 1 minute he's not, you know what I mean? It's fantastic, but it just let it down when it's all to do with love and that, but yeah, sorry to interrupt, Ross, but
No worries, that's finishing, yeah.
I just thought it was really, really creepy at the beginning. I just thought it was really, really creepy.
Especially when you came up, you saw the face of it, because the face was always hidden.
Yeah.
The entire episode, it was like just creeping across, and the top of it was like reversed and weird.
Yeah.
And you really, at the end, it's like, oh crap.
Yeah. I mean, for you, I would have edited that last bit out and just leave it really like unknown.
I thought about that right at the end when the credits came out. I thought I would have taken that out.
Yeah, because it would have been brilliant. To be honest with you, I didn't think it'd beat last week's episode. But well done, Neil Cross.
I know it did kind of have me, thinking of old monster, old haunted house movies that I've watched in the past. Like Legend of Hill House for one, that popped right into my mind, and maybe just not even a touch, slight little touch of Amityville Horror. Pretty interesting. Was there any other movie that this reminded you of, Deb, other than Doctor Who?
Oh, I don't know. But the monster, they did a really great job on the makeup and stuff. But no, I can't think of a movie right offhand.
Yeah, and I agree with you guys on the monster. Yeah, it was very, very well done, very eerie, very scary. Plus, yeah, you finally do get a bit of a glimpse of it, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, that is one ugly dude," So, all right, but
Yeah.
definitely a great episode, and now we can understand why they were having such trouble naming this one. Because originally they had it under two different shooting titles, Phantom of the Hex, and it was also known as Hider in the House. And finally, they settled down to one word, Hide.
Yeah.
So,
I'm glad they made that move.
But can I just tell you, as an old Doctor Who fan, you know the actor that, apart from Doctor, what's the main actor called again?
DeRay Scott.
DeRay Scott. Didn't his character reminded me of a Harry Sullivan, Ian Marter type character?
Yeah, in a way he did. I can see that. But
and he'd been. Sorry to interrupt, Dr. Freedom. He'd be great as an occasional assistant.
Maybe I can see it.
Yeah. But no, but I thought it was really good.
Okay, now that and the episode did bring up one interesting thing I've noticed. It did seem that we're introduced to a character who's been through war, he's been wounded, and he's having a hard time expressing his feelings towards this woman. I'm going to ask each one of you, do you think this is possibly foreshadowing a deeper relationship between the Doctor and Clara? Deb?
I think it's shadowing the relationship of him and Rose because I think they're trying to get them back. They're trying to set up events because there's one part where he said separated by events and yearning for each other. I think he said something about she falls through, what was it? She had fallen through something. But I think they're trying to maybe remind us of that because they're going to bring her back, and they're going to bring the 10th Doctor back. So I think there's going to be little things that's bringing us back to them.
Okay, Ross?
I instantly thought about that myself when they mentioned talk about losing people. I thought this is definitely foreshadowing something. I'm not sure if it might be with the song more than Clara.
I didn't even think of that. You're right. More. All right, Doctor Who Man.
That's what I feared, to be honest with you, man. That's what I feel with those multiple words as river song and all that reverse of all that thing. But hopefully not river song. But there we go. Hopefully that's done with.
That is something. Oh, go ahead, Deb.
Well, how could it be River Song? She's not fallen through anything. She just decided not to fly with them. I just don't see River Song at all in it.
Well, I hope you're right.
I was thinking because with River Song dying and the Doctor's going to have to face that no matter what.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true.
That's the reason why I could put it on. I mean, I can see the Clara and the Doctor working this relationship, but not yet.
Well, it could be some great intelligence. You never know. Doesn't necessarily have to be. What's her name? Oh, I can't remember. River Song, rather.
Yeah, because yeah, you're right. I can see where you're going with that, Doctor Who Man.
So so we can understand. But I really quite enjoyed it. And also I enjoyed it at the beginning where the unpredictability of it. And it worked as a one episoder as well, which was good.
All right, Vil, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, joining us is our fourth guest. I know we've had some folks popping in a bit late today, but so Vil, what do you feel? What did you think about Hyde?
be perfectly honest with you, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I haven't had that chance yet. My buddy's got it on the database, and we're probably going to pop it on real soon.
Okay.
What a shame, Phil. You'll enjoy that.
Oh, it's not a shame. I'm going to see it here shortly.
Well,
It's very good.
No, but I'm talking about for the discussion.
well,
I meant for the discussion.
Celebrating a holiday, so.
well, the good.
No, I meant for the discussion.
Yeah, luckily we've already discussed most of what we were going to discuss about Hyde, so he hasn't got any spoilers.
Oh yeah, well, it's yeah. Oh yeah. Also, put your hands over your ears, Phil.
I'm not spoiler phobe. You cannot ruin Doctor Who for me. Feel free.
Okay. What did you think of the time tunnel thing from the Five Doctors?
Oh, yeah, that did look a lot like the time scoop. Have you seen the Five Doctors, Deb?
No, I've not seen Five Doctors. I've seen the Three Doctors, but I've not seen Five Doctors.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen the Five Doctors, yeah?
No, I'm sorry.
Well, this is my advice. Get the original version, because there's two versions released in the UK. I don't know if it's released in the US. Of the original version, which has got extra bits in it. But to be honest with you, the extra bits on the new version sort of spoils the story for me, really. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm sorry about the distraction. I didn't mean to be heard by you guys. I've got some buddies in the living room who are also Whovians, and they immediately grabbed their ears and were humming, and I told them, no, it's good, it's good.
Yeah, no, but that's a recommended watch. The Five Doctors.
Thank you. I'll try to look for it.
Five Doctors, at least the Five Doctors was a lot better than, oh my goodness, I hate to mention it, Dimensions in Time.
Oh.
I have seen that one.
Yeah, as I keep bringing up, Dimensions in Time was the Doctor Who, what the Star Wars Holiday Variety Special was the Star Wars. It's that bad.
Do you know what?
The response was, "Oh God!" And my friend just did a wide-eyed stare that looked like Tom Baker whenever he figured out that something was drastically, horribly wrong.
Oh,
I've never seen it. So
you've never seen it?
Don't watch it.
Don't worry about it, man. No. Don't tell him don't watch it. Don't tell him don't watch it.
Yes, but once you see it, you can never unsee it.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah, but come on, they had poor
Come
Louise Jameson running around in a Pocahontas outfit, for crying out loud.
Debra, seriously, I've seen better school plays than that.
Yeah, exactly. It was badly written, and you have all these poor guys trying to pick up for the slack of the bad writing, and oh my goodness.
Oh, God, man, it makes Paradise Towers look like an epic.
Or yeah, it makes the Happiness Patrol look like a saga.
I do have a question that's kind of a spoiler.
Okay, plug your ears, Vil. All right, go ahead.
When the TARDIS is, that alarm that, what's it called?
The cloister bell.
Yeah, when that went off, I didn't realize what the TARDIS was in so much trouble for. I know the Doctor was kind of in trouble at that time, but I didn't realize what the TARDIS was in so much trouble for.
That is interesting, why it sounded the cloister bell at that particular moment. Any thoughts on that, Ross?
Well, that's also because the TARDIS has a connection with the Doctor.
Ah, yeah, it could be that. What do
maybe he senses danger in his sphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what is...
Sorry, I'm getting put off by someone's massive typing there.
Yeah, I was about to say, Vil, quiet down on the typing.
What was I just? Yeah. Do you ever think that in this day and age that we're going to get a straight story without the love and romance? Although it did work in this episode, but I would like to just leave it on in this episode.
Yeah.
Do you reckon it'll appear in next in the next episodes, God forbid it happens in the 50th, but...
Yeah, that's one thing I seem to have noticed is in a new series, the doctor companion dynamic has taken a major turn. Instead of just this person that just happens to be along for the ride, and maybe over the course of a few episodes you'll learn a little bit of something about them. It seems like the whole show is focusing more on the companion than it is the doctor. What do you think, Deb?
Yeah, I have seen, from what I've seen of the older episodes, you're right, there's not very much connection and not very much love. But I guess it's trying to, because the audience now is completely different than the audience back then. And so I think it's trying to get those people to come in and still watch it.
Series all like.
Okay, Ross?
No, but the old series didn't.
Yeah, I think it has. I think that.
That's what we're discussing.
So I was watching some of the Tom Baker episodes last week with Sarah Jane in, and I always thought,
Yeah, which ones?
That chemistry again. I can't remember what it was called. It was the one where she got stuck in the event, and the doctor's shouting at her.
The Ark in Space.
The Ark in Space, yeah.
Yeah, that one. I was watching that. I was like, we need more episodes like this, where episodes where we just don't have a companion in and just the doctor.
Yeah.
I think they work better without companion sometimes, or if we know less about companion.
Yeah, like what I said last week, innit?
Yeah.
I mean, you never really needed to know about Jamie McCrimmon, or Zoe Harriet, or Sarah Jane Smith, or Edric.
Yeah, Edric was there and went away.
Yeah.
Hardly knew anything about him.
Yeah, but as regards to this episode, I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, it was better than Neil Cross's first one, A Hoe of Akatan, or whatever it's called. Bad. Really, really bad. I mean, come on. What do you think, Debra? Compare the Cold War and Hyde to the first one, Debra.
I still have. I've watched the Cold War twice. I don't know, something about the Cold War I didn't really connect to it. I need to watch it again. I didn't like it as much, but I didn't hate it either. I still liked it. Just, I don't know. The Rings of Akatan, the part that I really liked was the last part of his speech where he mentions the Time War and where he has to be emotional because Matt hides those feelings a lot more, and he's not as cryy or as concerned. He seems aloof to a lot of emotions and stuff, and I think that's a way of not hurting, the doctor hiding all that pain that he's had for so many years, that now he's got to be funny and, a little ditzy and stuff like that. But I think I forgot your question.
No, what I meant.
Yeah,
what I meant.
Let me get in there.
What I meant.
Hang on, Vil, 1 sec. What, Mo?
What I meant was as the series goes on, did you think the first episode is getting really poorer compared to the other two that we just had?
I think the one that we just had was good. I think the Cold War wasn't as good. I think that these episodes are better than Series 7 Part 1. But going back to that love thing, as a woman watching Doctor Who, I like to see a little bit of that romance and stuff. And also, as new to Doctor Who, sometimes I have a hard time watching those older episodes. They seem a little boring to me. And I don't mean to be rude about it or anything. It's just it's not as appealing to me as the newer Doctor Who.
Like, what episodes have you seen from the classic episodes? Sorry, whoever that is.
I've seen the Genesis of the Daleks, which I did like that one. Yeah. And then I've seen Ark in Space, which was kind of a little bit, it was all right. I've seen that, I think it's called, the first one, I can't remember which.
The Unearthly Child, you mean?
Yeah, I've seen that one. And I've seen the one, the Mind Robber, And that was a little bit hard for me to watch. It was kind of slow for me. And a lot of people say that was one of the best ones. So I'm sorry, guys.
That's all right.
I've seen a few more. I've seen the one where, the caves of
Androzani.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, that's not bad. But can I suggest to you for one you should see?
Okay.
It's called The Edge of Destruction.
Which Doctor is that?
That's William Hartnell, the first Doctor.
Okay.
Very good episode, yeah.
Maybe she'll like The Invasion, Patrick Troughton.
Or if one I'd recommend is Tomb of the Cybermen. But let's get, hey, Vil, what are your thoughts on all this? Yeah, I'll let you get caught up here.
Okay, not a problem. Thank you. And then after I do, if it's okay, my buddy also wanted to make a comment on something you'd said.
Oh, sure.
Going back to the companions, we were talking about, the change in emphasis there. I thought what was even worse than that was when you looked at the openers just on BBC America, I don't mean over in the UK, specifically in BBC America, they added this tacky intro from Amy Pond that made it sound like the show had become The Wild, Wacky Adventures of Amy Pond.
Yes, I hated that.
Yeah, I didn't like those intros either. I was like, my goodness, what are they doing?
I don't think that I want to know what they were doing. Now, as far as classic episodes went, oh my God, I've seen so many of them. But I'd have to say that the Pyramids of Mars was still one of my favorite, and so is Genesis of the Daleks. And my buddy over here would scream at me if I didn't throw in Planet of Spiders.
Oh yes, but as a matter of fact, Vil, I'm gonna throw you a spoiler.
Okay.
They have a reference in this episode to the crystals of Metebolus 3, as they pronounce it.
Well, I'll go with Tom Baker. Well, I'll go with John Pertwee, Robert. Metebolus 3.
Yeah.
Metebolus.
My friend over here is drooling, and what was it that you wanted to throw into here?
Whenever, during the Cold War, whenever the Doctor is doing his big speech or whatever, I caught a reference in there that I associated with him referring to Omega. Did anybody else catch that, or was I just putting stuff in there that I wanted to hear?
Also, yeah, going back to the Rings of Akaten and the Rings of Akaten and the speech.
Oh, Akaten, sorry, not Cold War.
Yeah, but going back to Rings of Akaten and the speech, one of the things, and I can't believe I'm so daft I didn't pick up on this last week, is when he states in that speech, I have been to universes where the laws of physics were devised by a madman.
Yeah, that's what Bill's mate was about, yes.
Exactly, and that made me think, don't you think that was a reference to, oh gosh, several episodes? The Mind Robber, the Three Doctors, Omega's universe, all kinds of things like that. And that's what, I was shocked I didn't even pick up on that until I heard it again this week. So Hyde is turning out to be, to be honest, I give it a 7.5 or 8 out of 10. It wasn't bad. I really enjoyed myself with it. But now let's talk about next week.
Don't you want to hear my version?
Oh,
or
sure.
Ross's out of 10 or what?
You're right. I forgot. Yeah. I didn't really want to go back to the Rings of Akaten, but I felt I had to mention that.
I mean, out of 10 for this episode. For Hyde, yeah.
Okay, for what aspect in particular, Mo?
No, for out of 10. What do we think of it?
Oh, okay.
Rating.
Yeah,
rating of it, yeah.
Yeah, I think you missed that.
I'm losing my
bit.
brain.
Yeah, I think you missed that bit. We were talking about that earlier, but so okay, out of 10, I'm gonna go around and ask everybody, except for Vil because he hasn't seen it yet. All right, Deb, let's go over to you. What'd you give this out of 10?
8.
Okay, Ross.
Mine will be 8 or 9. The ending bit, I don't want to spoil it for Vil, but just the ending bit. Just put it for me.
Okay, Mo.
Right, are you ready for this, Omega? Are you ready for this, guys?
All right, here Here it comes.
And this is me you're talking about. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
Whoa!
My God, what's going on?
Oh no, I'm losing it.
We're in another universe.
I'm losing it. I would have given it a 9, but the ending was so rubbish.
Yeah, that's what. You don't worry, we won't go into any details, Vil, for you, but we'll just say that the ending got a bit repetitive.
Okay.
Well, we just got a little bit crap, really. But anyway, yeah, that's amazing. It surprised me.
And
Really surprised me.
I think that's the highest you've ever rated an episode so far in Series 7.
Yeah, especially for the modern era. I was very impressed. I mean, I was thinking about from the first episode dropping the series entirely, but after this episode, I was very impressed. Keep up the good word, lads, and don't let us get disappointed with the 50th anniversary, please.
Okay, one thing I wanted to bring up before we move on to the trailer. Did you know that the young lady in this episode, Jessica Raine, is the same person who'll be playing Verity Lambert in the Adventures in Space and Time docudrama?
Yes, I did.
Now I know.
So, pretty interesting stuff there. You know, they're intermingling a bit. Okay, so now
Not really, because David Bradley did one, didn't he? Did the...
Oh, true. Yeah, he did play Solomon a while back in Dinosaurs on a Spaceship.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, they are just actors, so it's their job, so...
Plus, you know, Doctor Who used to recycle actors quite a bit, you know, especially back in the 70s, so... I shouldn't have been surprised, but, you know, era.
I wouldn't read anything into that, whether, you know...
Yeah.
It's going to be a regeneration of Verity Lambert, because Verity Lambert was a real person, so it's an autobiography. It's an autobiography rather than a fictional character. So, you know, let's not read too much into that. Matrix
I thought she reminded me a lot of Susan. I thought she reminded me a lot of Susan.
What, the innocence that she brings to the character? You mean?
I thought the character, yeah, I thought I can imagine her playing a good Susan.
Yeah.
Because you're running around with your grandfather.
That's a good point, actually. That is actually a good point. If you thought about it, you could because if you go back to 1964, where he left her off or whatever, in the chase, or is it 2000 Daleks' invasion of Earth rather? She could he could pick her up again, but they wouldn't do that.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, because since they've already casted that whole episode, you know, they did a really good job casting for the docudrama. So who knows? You know, we could see the original TARDIS crew interacting in some way, possibly in the 50th. But okay, the last thing I want to bring up before we move on to the big subject, the 50th, is we finally got to see a trailer for the journey to the center of the TARDIS, and I want to get everybody's impressions on that. Deb?
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see more. I've just seen a glimpse. I've only seen it once, and I have to see things a few more times before it gets embedded into my head. But I'm excited. I cannot wait.
Okay, Ross?
I love it. I'm excited for this one. I like the TARDIS. I like the interior, how it's been dismantled, and I also like the hints of the swimming pool. You see a little glimpse of it. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I think this one might be a bit scary too.
Okay, Doctor Who Man?
Yeah, it looks good.
And
Vil does what a trailer should do.
Yeah.
Feed you in.
And I don't think Vil's seen the trailer yet, so...
Not yet.
Okay, let's pop on to a subject that he can participate in. Okay.
Oh, Brian, can I say one more thing?
Oh, yes, go ahead, please.
The posters for this round is excellent. All of them are just excellent.
That's one thing I noticed, too. The quality from the first part of Series 7 to now has definitely improved across the board. So that's what I'm real. Okay, so of course, yeah, Morris, who don't like the rings of A-hole 10, as he calls it. But okay, now.
You do realise I'm going to get a backlash after this, but
Oh. Okay, now I'm going to get to the big one. This is something I've been foreshadowing for a couple days now. If you don't want to be spoiled about the 50th anniversary, now's the time to stick your fingers in your ears.
Because if you don't want to be spoiled about the 50th anniversary, I already know.
Because
are you sure, Dr. Freedom, you want to divulge?
I'm going to dive off the deep end because I really want everybody to hear this, because there's a strong, I'm saying at least at this point, a 75% probability this is true.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very, very kind of spoilery to the 50th anniversary. So, all right, anyone want to back out?
No,
I
spoil
hope it's
me.
good news.
No, I know it. I mean, especially compared to the Prisoners of Time comic book. Very, very similar.
Major spoiler.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ross, I've given a glimmer of it too, and same thing with Morris has heard a glimmer of it as well.
Yes,
But
I have it.
Yeah, I still want to get their reaction, especially the folks who are just hearing this. Okay, it revolves around John Hurt. And many of you have probably seen by now the pictures of him on set.
Yes, John Hurt. Sorry.
Especially the outfit that he's wearing. And now what I'm going to do is, have all of you seen the picture?
Yeah.
Yes.
Not yet, I want to.
Okay.
Oh, come on, Bill. What's
Have you
going
linked?
on, man? What's going on?
Okay.
Can we send it across? Is it right here?
A link would be wonderful.
I'll
Okay.
send it to you download it.
Okay, that works too. Oh, I have to add you real quick. Give me a second.
Now, in this picture, you're going to notice that John Hurt, he's wearing an obvious, regular coat because they're trying to kind of sort of hide what he's wearing.
Yeah, and it's not the alien popping out of his chest. Sorry.
But one thing you'll notice is he seems to be wearing what appears to be a velvet-type jacket, which is reminiscent of the John Pertwee Doctor. Over that, he's wearing what appears to be an almost copy of what the 9th Doctor wore, the brown leather jacket. According to several of my sources, and all right, I hope you're all sitting down. All right.
Wait a minute, I'll take a seat.
Okay, you may want to sit down.
Yep, go on.
John Hurt is going to be in the 50th anniversary episode as playing the 9th Doctor. And all right, here it comes.
Oh, no.
But the 9th Doctor is not Chris Eccleston's.
Ta-da!
Oh.
Do you reckon he could do a northern accent? Like,
No. He's not going to be Chris Eccleston. Matter of fact, from what I'm hearing, you're going to probably find out that there was a Doctor before Eccleston.
Oh, in between.
Like 8.5, something like that.
Yeah.
And what happened?
Oh.
All right,
And he doesn't mean Richard E. Grant, because that doesn't count.
Yeah. Nor would David Warner in this case, because he played the Doctor in the Unbound series for Big Finish.
Yeah, but
okay.
I'm disappointed.
And those ones, I mean Richard E. Grant, with a title called Return of the Shulker, kiddies, if you don't know.
Well, Scream of the Shulker.
That's it, Scream of the Shulker, yeah.
So, all right. Now, apparently the gist of this story is there's an incarnation of the Doctor where something happened that was so traumatic that he does not even remember that entire lifetime.
Okay.
So let's go around and get the reactions. Deb, what's your take on this if they do it?
I'm a little disappointed because I just really want to see other doctors, not somebody new playing an older Doctor that we never got to see. But I'm also interested, it's kind of intriguing, you know.
Okay, Ross?
Right. When I first saw the picture, I put it on Facebook and Twitter, and they both got deleted off it. And I'm like, wait, it's the 8.5 Doctor. But now I'm thinking maybe it's all the Doctors as one incarnation, like a multi-Doctor. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, I'm liking the idea.
Ross, you're doing me head in, man. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I'm on about
No,
picture.
I mean, what are you talking about? No, I'm talking about John Hurt's character. You're telling me he's embraced all the Doctors, so he's all the Doctors in one. That's what are you talking about?
Yeah, he could be like a multi-corner Doctor because he looks a bit. The clothing of it looks very multi, like clothing of previous Doctors. That's one point across.
Okay, let's get Vil.
So you mean it could be like what was that episode? Sort of like a chameleon sort of thing.
Kind of.
You mean like a Tuvix on Star Trek? You know, when Tuvok and Neelix were together?
Yeah, that's the other one. Yeah, that's the other one I've heard, but the one that seems to be taking the lead is the fact that he's going to play an incarnation that was forgotten.
Yeah.
Let's go to guys.
But you know what? If it was my idea, it'd be great if he was the 12th or the 13th Doctor, and we didn't even know about it.
Okay, let's get Vil's reaction.
Hello, Vil.
Vil, you still with us?
Vil?
Yeah, I'm still there.
So, what do you think of all this?
You know, I'm not sure what to think of it. It's like I'm torn. Part of me says this could be a real cool idea. The other says I really like that Matt's the 11th and not the 12th Doctor, and how in the hell is there a fall of the 11th if he's not the 11th?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Moffat always plays with words, but the more I think about this, if I didn't get this from a couple of very reliable sources, I wouldn't even be mentioning it. But it seems to be panning out because it makes me think of The Angels Take Manhattan. The scene where he heals River Song and she says, "Don't waste regeneration energy like that." She scolds him very strongly. So I'm beginning to wonder if they haven't been foreshadowing this, especially when they're talking about so much about memory and remembering things. And a reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Very.
Right. Okay. It sort of makes sense. Sorry, kiddies, man. This is what happens to your brain when you get over 40. You know what I mean? So.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I sort of know what you mean. I honestly, I hope it's not like what's Mr. MrWhatsrossable says. I hope it's not like an amalgamation of all the Doctors, but it's looking like it is. I mean, I heard that he might be an older version of the 8th Doctor as well. I heard that.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd do that to McGann, to be honest.
No,
not McGann. I mean, for the 9th Doctor rather, the Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah, because they were going to have a tough time signing Eccleston, but I don't think they'd do that either.
I don't know. It could do. It could do. But no, I hope it's not. I hope it's not. To be honest with you, I would love it. I would love it if he would be. See if anybody has read the comics of the Prisoners in Time, they know what I'm talking about. The monk, he would be a time meddling monk or a monk or something like that, disguising himself as an incarnation of a Doctor. That would be good to see him do that.
Or if they were going to go with an amalgamation of the Doctors, I'd like to see the Valyard.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know
definitely
what?
looking more like it's definitely playing the Doctor. That's what we sussed out so far.
That's what worries me.
Yeah.
But he'll be a great Doctor though. But going back to Hyde, the actor that played in Hyde, he'd be a good Doctor as well.
Oh, DeRay Scott?
DeRay Scott, yeah.
Yeah, he was originally slated to play Wolverine in the X-Men movie, but the shooting on X-Men 2 ran over. No, not X-Men 2. I mean, Mission Impossible 2. The shooting on that, yeah, it ran over.
And don't you think he regrets it?
Oh yeah, since Hugh Jackman was called in and he's been such a hit, but these things happen.
Yeah. It's like Tom Baker getting cast to play what is it, Gandalf?
Oh yeah, I've forgotten about that. Yeah, you've reminded me multiple times. Yeah, that Tom Baker was originally slated to play Gandalf in Lord of the Rings, but he turned it down.
He said, who's the director of Lord of the Rings again? I can't remember his name. What's his name?
Peter Jackson.
Yeah. He said to him, how would you like to spend 2 years in New Zealand? And Tom Baker said, no, I'm not wasting time spending 2 years filming one film in New Zealand at my age. No.
It's really disappointing too, because Peter Jackson's a massive Doctor Who fan.
Yeah, that's why, and he's a big Tom Baker fan as well.
Yeah,
but you know, there we go.
Vil, did you have something to say, Vil?
No, I'm sorry about that. You probably heard my friend in the background responding to you guys. He was saying that everybody is a Tom Baker fan except for him. He's not really that big on him.
Blasphemy!
I'm not.
I don't like David Tennant either.
No, I'm not a big fan of David Tennant either.
I mean, David Tennant's a carbon copy of Tom Baker.
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
Yeah, you see, to me, everybody asks me what's my favorite Doctor, and I'm like, each one of them. Now, I have to, of course, say Tom Baker because he was my first, but at the same time, each Doctor had something I liked. There was some character trait or some mannerism they had that I really liked.
Well, each of them, you sure?
Oh, yes, actually.
Oh.
That includes Colin Baker. Yes, Colin Baker was a bit arrogant, but he still had things about him I liked.
Well, even little Tweedy Sylvester McCoy.
Yes,
Oh,
actually.
you don't dismiss Sylvester McCoy.
Yeah, old Tiz was geezer. Tiz was! Hey! I mean, he was supposed to be a bouncer for the Rolling Stones, for God's sake. Have you seen the size of him?
Yeah, it is weird. Is it just me, or does it seem like the Doctor is getting, first he was tall, then he was short, now he's tall again?
Yeah. yeah. But sorry, Freedom. Karen, what are you going to say? What were the bits you liked about all the Doctors then?
What little bits I liked about all the Doctors?
Yeah.
Oh, heck. The first, because of his stubbornness and the fact nobody's going to tell him what to do. The second, of course, come on, the Cosmic Hobo. The guy is always jovial, but, pretends to be so lighthearted, but at the same time, he's so dramatic. Of course, Doctor 3, John Pertwee, do I really have to state it? This guy had charisma. At the same time, he was kind of like the James Bond. And, of course, the fourth Doctor, the Bohemian. The guy who's, always humorous, but once again, in ways like Patrick Troughton, he knows what's going on and he knows what's really, to keep his mind focused on. Doctor 5, the Paladin, the goody two-shoes, the guy who'll never do anything wrong. Number 6, the arrogant one, the aristocrat, the guy who's looks down at all the other ones. Number 7, the dark side, the manipulator, the chess player, the guy who's always 3 steps ahead of you.
Can you hang on a minute?
Hang on.
Say that again about the number 7. Hang on.
What's going on over there, Deb?
Yeah, what are you doing, man?
Okay.
What do you mean?
Say that again about number 7. Sorry.
Number 7, the manipulator, the chess player. He was always 3 steps ahead of everyone. He'd always let on he didn't know where you were, but you always find out sometime by the end of the episode, and most times he knew exactly what was going to happen and how to manipulate it into his own court. Number 8, the bumbler, the romantic. And also later on in the audio series, he became what was leading into the 9th Doctor because he had so much tragedy. And of course, the Ninth Doctor, the wounded warrior, the soldier, the guy who's just literally walked through hell and come out, scarred. The 10th Doctor, the Doctor who's recovering, the Doctor who's starting to be a wee bit more human. I know more human than Mo would like. But at the same time, he still remains cold and detached. And of course, Dr. 11, who's just plain most of the time cold and detached, but likes to make people think that he's a child when he really isn't.
Right, okay. Now, can I just put my thought in? The reason why I say my favourite Doctors are the first four, right? Because once you get to your Peter Davisons, your Colin Bakers, and all the rest of them, they tend to repeat the same characters as the previous four Doctors. Do you understand what I mean?
I can see that, but to me, each one had their own distinctive taste and style.
See, I don't really see any really anyone's own distinctive original style, really. Apart from Christopher Eccleston, I suppose. I think he, in the first episode, especially Rose, when he gave that speech about to Rose when he's holding her hand, about something about under the earth or whatever. I can't remember. I have to go and look back at the series. I thought that was really moving.
Yes. I remember this. Yeah, I know the speech you're talking about.
As I say, with the Peter Davisons, with the I think Peter Davison's was quite a new one, as being like a more human Doctor as well. I think Peter Davison was quite original as well, because we've never had a human Doctor. But see, that echoes the David Tennant Doctor, very very similar to the Peter Davison Doctor. And your Matt Smith looks like your Patrick Troughton's. His character, the hands, and especially in this episode in Fear, actually, in Hyde, where the Doctor is actually scared, and you haven't seen that in the new series yet. You haven't really seen that since Patrick Troughton.
Actually, Pyramids of Mars.
Yeah.
But let's ask a couple of the folks, also on the panel. Let's start with Deb. Were there any character traits you really liked about past Doctors as well as the new ones?
I don't see what's wrong with them emulating the past Doctors. I like the second Doctor. He's a little bit quirky. I kind of like that. And I like Matt. He's a little quirky. Because they're playing the same person. So... Yeah. I mean, even though we're a little different, as we age, we still are the same person inside. And so I don't mind that they emulate each other. It doesn't bother me. I liked the hardness of the Ninth Doctor, and I like when the Doctor's hard, and I like to see him like that because that's really who he is on the inside. He's hurting, he's struggling, and I like to see that. But my favorite Doctor is David Tennant. I'm sorry, guys. But because David Tennant's just a good actor all around. I mean, he can play funny, he can play mad, sad. I mean, he can just play anybody, and he does it really good. And I know some of y'all don't like him, really? But I really do. I think he's a great actor.
No, yeah, I have to agree with her about Tennant. There's still Fourth Doctor's always going to be number one to me.
Well, not great, really, because he's just playing David Tennant to me. Even in this new series, he's playing an MP.
I have to beg to differ.
Well,
Tennant. All right. What I loved about Tennant, and before I move on to Ross here to ask his opinion, Tennant could express what that character was feeling without saying a word.
Yeah.
But it's too human, man. It's too human.
No, I didn't get human out of that. He's someone who's literally, he's not the Ninth Doctor, he's in recovery. He's starting to come back around to his old self. That's what I got out of Tennant's performance. But let's go on. Let's ask Ross. Ross, old Doctor, new Doctors, what's your opinion?
I like the first four, and I like 7. My favourite one at the moment is Matt. I know it's very cliche with the 11th, but he's got every time I watch him, I I can see previous ones
Yeah.
in his
Yeah.
performance, and that's what I really like about his Doctor. There's Petrie and there's Tom Baker going there.
Okay, and we already know what Doctor Who
Yeah,
is going to say.
I have to agree with Ross there. I have to give it Matt from the New Era is one of my favourites as well, as an actor.
I do really like Matt, but what do you think, Vil?
To be honest with you, I kind of like all of them. Whoever I'm watching really tends to become my favorite one at a time. Right now, I'm saying that Matt Smith is, but the truth is, it really depends on who I'm watching. For some reason, I've always managed to like them equally for different reasons.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. Like I said, Tom Baker is always going to come to the top to me because he was my first, but at the same time, I love all of them. They all had
but Brian, you got to understand, yeah, that Tom Baker, if you've actually met him, Geezer's not from this earth. He embraced the character so well. The Geezer he's an alien himself.
Oh,
so
yeah, I can
that's
agree
why
with
he's so great. And in a way, you could say that as well about Patrick Troughton. Or not John Pertwee. John Pertwee played it as a James Bond character, but he played it really well. Because, especially when he was stranded on Earth. But, say for instance, there was so much originality to those three other doctors that I just mentioned, Patrick Troughton, William Hartnell, and Tom Baker, that they were so believable. I mean, even as Fraser Hines, where he said that Patrick Troughton was a believable doctor, I totally understand him with that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I totally. You got to understand, Tom Baker, when he played the Doctor Who as an alien, he sort of really meant it. I mean, you got to imagine this man was a monk for God knows how many years before he became an actor. So, that tells you something, doesn't it?
Okay, yeah. All right, well, folks, we've been running on here for a bit, so I want to get everybody's final thoughts before I bring us to a close. Let's start with Debra. Any final thoughts for us?
No, I'm just excited to see the next episode. I did like this one. It was good. I'm just excited. I can't wait to see the 50th.
Okay, Ross?
Yeah, really enjoyed this episode. Can't wait for next week's. Yeah, I'm just really looking forward to the 50th and just can't wait now for everything to start wrapping up for the big finale.
And Doctor Who Man?
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good, but please don't let us get disappointed. Make it good.
All right, and Vil?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the episodes to come. I'm also looking forward to the 50th and hoping that we're going to get all of the doctors in there. And all I can really say is happy 20th. I'm spending mine watching Doctor Who.
Okay, I have to agree with you all. Before we close, I just picked up a leaked picture from Journey to the Center of the TARDIS. It's up on my Facebook page if you want to go check it out over at Dr. Freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So it's there. It's a pretty interesting pic. You may want to go take a look at it. Well, that's it for this week, guys. Thank you for participating in the Omega Files. Go ahead and say your goodbyes all around.
Bye.
I guys, see you later. Bye.
Okay, and take care. And once again, I thank you all for participating. And we'll see you all hopefully next week.
And farewell from me.
And farewell from Morris. All right.